Men died in a motorcycle accident. Beyond the crash, a story of past lives and future prophecies. Welcome everyone. On June 19, 2013, I died in a motorcycle accident on my way to work. It was a typical morning until I made an unexpected turn and was hit by an SUV, instantly killing me. At the scene, Pastor Tom performed my last rites, and paramedics arrived from a nearby restaurant where they decided to get tacos instead of burgers. Despite their efforts to revive me, I had already left my body. Instead of having an out-of-body experience, I immediately transitioned to what I now call the other side. There, I felt peaceful and content, free from desires and the constraints of time. I was in contact with benevolent beings I refer to as Akashic agents who oversee worldly affairs. Meanwhile, at the accident scene, I was in a coma with severe brain trauma considered close to death. My son's friend Sam coincidentally happened to be nearby and informed my son about the accident. Reflecting on this experience, I'm overwhelmed by the pain it caused my loved ones. Being a source of their suffering is something I struggle to accept, as I've always been a source of strength and inspiration for them. He says to Sam, his friend, "How do you know it's my dad?" Sam responds, "Because it's his bike. No one has a bike like that. I had a very unusual motorcycle from Italy. The paramedics put me in the ambulance, and I get taken to the ICU. I'm in a stage 3 Glasgow coma when my family comes to the hospital. My partner of 10 years and my son were met by 2 doctors and a priest. That's not a good sign. They were told, if he ever wakes up, which by the way, he won't, no one ever comes out of a stage 3 DIA injury coma. Even with extensive plastic surgery, he will never look anywhere near the same. I had scars and bruises all over my face and gashes all over my head. When I woke up 9 days later, I woke up on my birthday and I didn't have a scratch on me. The entire time that I'm in my coma for 9 days, I am on the other side, completely conscious and aware, somewhat aware of what's going on back on Earth. Clients and people are coming and praying over me. My clients that I worked with for years, families and kids, were praying over me, many of whom I had counseled. They were saying, "Don't die, Scott. You're a part of our family. You've helped keep us together for so long as our counselor. We need you." And again, the tears come because I don't want them to be in this pain over something that they cared about. I can tell you that those prayers were absolutely feeding me and giving me strength while I'm on the other side, sharing a profound relationship with the Akashic agents. They made me an offer. The past life or life review is a standard feature of the near-death experience where you see your life pass before your eyes. It was explained to me that it's an opportunity to learn who you've been and how you can improve, to be more spiritually inclined in your life rather than materialistic. We get a chance to grow, to evolve, to expand our minds and our ambitions to spiritual ones. But I was given a very rare opportunity. They offered me a multiple life review, and I witnessed, like a cinematic, instant upload into my consciousness, hundreds of lifetimes over thousands of years. I saw some of the most significant events in history pertaining to spirituality and religion. I said to them when they made this offer to me, "Yes, but I'm only interested in seeing lives that are significant to my spirit and my soul's journey, where I went wrong in my soul's journey to spirituality, where I went right so I can make it better. I don't care about any other lifetimes. Those don't matter to me." So I was given this cinematic view of past lives. In addition to that, I was given preview prophecies, you could say, of what I could expect when I went back, the ghost of Christmas future, right? My understanding is that all NDEs get the preview as well, but very few retain it. Most people remember the life passing before their eyes review, but very few people remember the preview. I was shown what I was coming back to, which was pretty horrifying. My accident was very severe, and the events that I was looking to return to were not favorable. Naturally, we all want to stay on the other side. It's beautiful, peaceful content. It was explained to me that I said something along the lines, "Hey, I thought that people chose to go back, and they said that's the inference that we give them to make them more motivated to want to go back and do what's right. But the fact is, when it's your time, it's your time. When it's not, it's not. I didn't want to go back. I'll stay here. This is beautiful. This is peaceful. I love this. The only reason for me to want to go back was, of course, to be with my family. It was clear that I was going to be a burden, not an asset to them. Sure enough, for the entire 9 days, I often wondered why this is so. Why was I getting such an unusual set of things? First of all, my NDE was very severe and very prolonged because I was in a coma, so I was there the whole time. And secondly, because apparently, prior to this event, I was kind of qualified to receive these very beneficial perspectives. I'd been a lifelong mystic and spiritualist. I began my involvement with mystical and spiritual paths when I was a child, devouring books and knowledge on spirituality and mystical paths since literally I was 4 or 5 years old when I learned to read. I just couldn't get enough. By the time my NDE occurred in 2013 at 47 years old, I'd already had a full Kundalini awakening at 25, brought to me by Kendrick Farris through sexual breath magic and yoga. It was absolutely amazing. My crown chakra completely expanded off the top of my head. I had been proficient already in tarot, astrology, and numerology for many, many years. I was a third-degree ceremonial magician within the Ordo Templar Orientis, a secret society for higher consciousness. It's absolutely beautiful, very wise, and also a master alchemist, taught at AEL College by the esteemed Dennis William Hawke, probably the most profound alchemist of this age. So I'd already had a lot, which we hear often is that any kind of gives people a spiritual awakening. And of course, I'm wondering why I'm going through this very difficult experience when I was already spiritually aware and awakened, dedicated my life to illumination. All I wanted since I was a child. What do you want to be when you grow up? I didn't say fireman, I didn't say police, I didn't think about it. I didn't want to be an astronaut because I wanted to get out. I wanted to experience the profound. And my honest answer, before I knew what the word meant when I was like 3 or 4 years old, was enlightened. I don't know why I said that. When I woke up from my coma on my birthday, I couldn't walk or speak. It wasn't because of physical damage, it was like my memory had been erased, similar to how we forget past lives when we're reborn. I saw myself and others as souls, not just humans. I couldn't tell which lifetime I was in or remember my past lives clearly. Doctors couldn't explain how I was talking and sitting up normally when I should have been severely disabled. I was scared of being a burden to my family and wanted to give up. But then I had a vision that inspired me to keep fighting. I decided to push through and told my family that even if I didn't know how far I could go, I would keep going. For the first 4 years, I felt more connected to the spiritual realm than the physical world. It was tough for me to fit in with the regular world after my near-death experience. People often struggle to balance their spiritual side with everyday life, leading to high divorce rates among those who've had such experiences. I found it hard to understand and accept the importance of things like work, paying bills, and daily routines. Reintegrating into society after a near-death experience is common, but it took me about 7 years to fully adjust. For a long time, I felt more connected to the spiritual realm than the physical world. It took time to rebuild my sense of self and identity. Seeing articles about my past successes was surreal. I couldn't believe I was once that person. It felt like I was starting over. I realized I wasn't in control of the miraculous events that saved me. I saw myself as a messenger, tasked with sharing my story through writing. My near-death experience was unique, but I felt compelled to share it as a gift to others. My journey of reintegration took me to various places like India and Egypt as I sought to reconnect with myself and my loved ones.